Hello and welcome to the newest episode of the New Year's Six podcast. Today we'll be doing the first of my 5 Week 2 game previews. So starting us off today, it's Notre Dame heading down to Raleigh, North Carolina to play NC State. Great out-of-conference matchup for NC State and Notre Dame's first real challenge of the 2023 season. So looking at that and just taking an idea of what this is going to look like. Just going to go through team by team, kind of call out what's working, what's not, keys to the game, and then do a final score prediction, bet prediction, everything like that. So starting off with Notre Dame being the away team, one of the things I'm really looking at on their team is the health of the receiver room. Fortunately for Notre Dame, they haven't had a whole lot of competition the first 2 weeks. Blew out Navy, blew out Tennessee State, no big deal. So this is going to be their first real sort of challenge. But if we look at Notre Dame, specifically at receiver and tight end, the injuries are piling up. So, just looking at it, from top to bottom here, Bauman, the tight end there, is out. Smith, the receiver's out. Raridon is, he's questionable, right? That's what it looks like. So a little bit of depth lacking on this team at that position from a pure health and wellness point of view. So when I look at those types of options, when I look at those opportunities, it means that some of these younger guys are going to have to step up if the bottom falls out. Obviously they have a guy like Chris Tyree that can hold the fort down. Being a run-first offense in a sense with Audric Estime is a pro for this team. But I look at players like Rico Flores and see how he can step up. Jaden Greyhouse, those two freshmen have a huge opportunity given the health of this team right now. Even some of the younger tight ends, Holdis stays. That's an option as well. But at the current state, there's not a whole lot of health on this team right now in that specific position. Bauman's out for the season. Smith is out indefinitely. Don't know how long he's going to be out for. And then Raridon is in a tough spot. He missed the first 2 games of the season. Don't know if he's going to take the field for Game 3. And if you're Notre Dame, if you as another guy, you really got to go into your depth chart there. So you'll really want to see what those younger guys can do if the opportunity presents themselves. Obviously, their first 4 are competent enough and excelling in a way where Notre Dame hasn't have to worry about it. But if one of those guys go down, if Tobias Merriweather goes down, if Jaden Thomas goes down, if Mitchell Evans goes down, one of these other guys is going to have to step up. So I'm not hoping for it, but I understand in a position like that where you do rotate guys and you do play first and second string pretty consistently, having that second line of defense ready to go or the second line of attack ready to go is going to be huge for Notre Dame in their first real challenge of the season. But other than that, looking at what Notre Dame has done very well, O-line looks very, very good. And I think a lot of these stats right now don't mean a whole lot, given there's a sample size of 1 or 2 max for these teams. But tied for first in the country in sacks allowed. The offensive line is cooking. They're protecting Sam Hartman. They need to continue to protect Sam Hartman. They need to create an opportunity for him to to create the play, whether it's creating space for Audric Estime to run up the middle or off to the side, whether it's allowing Hartman to read through his progressions and pick the receiver that's best open. That's the best option, most open, whatever it may be. But as long as Sam Hartman is on his feet and not on his back, Notre Dame's going to have a chance. So I need this offensive line to step up, to find a way to make this happen. NC State hasn't applied a whole lot of pressure so far. They have the 95th best rushing defense in college football. Through week 1, sample size of 1. So I think it means that Notre Dame's O-line is going to have a field day with it. If NC State cannot apply pressure, then Hartman's going to have all day. And I think for Notre Dame, that's a big thing to get, and not something I don't think they expected to have coming into this game. Where I want to see Notre Dame evolve as a team this week against NC State, I want to see them kind of control the pace of play more, especially knowing that this is going to be more of a challenge this week than it has been the last 2 weeks. Notre Dame, over the past 2 games, ends up as the 82nd best team in time of possession. I know it's a sample size of 2, and we'll see kind of how that offense evolves over the course of the year. But if the ball is in your offense hands, it means your defense is off the field. And, getting those guys that rest, getting them that time to recover is huge for this team. So maybe slowing it down, maybe, focusing more on that run game that you like so much. Focus on what's working for you. They do have a pretty top-tier rushing offense. Passing offense is just ahead of them. So they can design this offense however they want to do it. And if they want to kill time and prevent NC State from getting those opportunities, they may have to just slow it down a little bit. Focus on those runs on first and second down, and work well on third down on offense, which they're very good at so far. So I think the recipe for success is right there for Notre Dame. Just make sure those receivers can step up if need be. That Hartman is protected, and that you hold on to the ball and make these long drives to give NC State less of an opportunity there. Now we're going to kick it over to NC State, what they've got going on, what they need to do well, and what their keys to the game are. So looking at NC State from a team perspective, they do have a very healthy team right now. The only injury list that I'm looking at is Raheem Ashford, so fairly deep in the depth chart there. But at that same time, if someone else in that safety position or cornerback position goes down, that depth is thinner now. So if Ashford doesn't play, I want to see what the second string safeties can do and how they rotate in. Guys like Bishop Fitzgerald, guys like Sean Brown, how do they fit into this equation, knowing that they're one bad snap away from starting? So not necessarily that they will start, but over the course of the game, I'm sure they'll rotate through. It's a position where you usually play 2-3 deep. So with one of those guys being out, expect more of an emphasis and more of an opportunity for those guys to shine. And what are they going to do with that type of opportunity? So I look for players like Bishop Fitzgerald and Sean Brown to rotate in, kind of ease the stress on those safeties. Guys like Devon Boykin, Jakeem Harris, kind of ease that stress on them, knowing that these safeties are going to be tested all day by Sam Hartman. If you can get those safeties off the field, give them some rest, and you have those second string guys that can just immediately lock down the defense for you, it's going to be a nice day there for NC State. So I want to see what those guys can do, knowing that the depth chart in that position is a little bit thin right now due to injuries. Other than that, what NC State did very well in their last game, they scored when they had the opportunity to. So tied for first with a bunch of teams right now in red zone offense. It's going to be the same deal against Notre Dame. If you're in the red zone, you need to score if you're NC State. Notre Dame is very good in the red zone. They are 15th in college football right now. So it's going to be a matter of a great defense meeting a great offense in between the 20. I want to see what NC State can do. I want to see how they can evolve their offense in the red zone. And knowing that Notre Dame is going to be more of a challenge for NC State than UConn is, or UConn was, how can NC State continue to be efficient in the most important part of the field for your offense? So if they can continue to score, they can continue to mix up the ball and put points on the board against Notre Dame in short field situations, NC State's going to be in this. Where I want to see NC State evolve and be better against Notre Dame, I need to see better play from the passing attack. Brennan Armstrong did not look good against UConn. UConn really gave NC State a hassle, and this Notre Dame pass defense is top 10 right now. So you have a passing attack right now for NC State that's outside the top 100, going up against a top 10 pass defense. something's going to have to change for NC State if they're going to win this game. They're going to have to rely more on Brennan Armstrong to make the correct reads. They got to rely more on those receivers to get open and beat out Notre Dame's defense. It's going to be a hassle for NC State this week. They're going to have their hands full. But if they can do that, if they can get their receivers running the right routes and getting open, if Armstrong can make the right reads and beat this Notre Dame defense, NC State could pull off the upset. So that's what I'm looking at if I'm NC State. I want to see the secondary depth kind of come to the rise to the occasion. I want to see what the offense can do in the red zone, and I want to see the passing attack in general evolve. So with that in mind, it's time for a final score prediction and score prediction, point prediction, everything like that. So Notre Dame is the favorite right now. They are favored by 7.5 points, and the total is 51. I am going to take Notre Dame to win. I'm going to take Notre Dame to cover. I don't think this is going to be a particularly close one, but I am going to take the under on 51. I'm going to say Notre Dame 32, NC State 14. So a comfortable win for Notre Dame, not as comfortable as what they've experienced the last 2 weeks, but knowing that NC State is a better team than Tennessee State or Navy, knowing that the defense will likely allow a score or two that they probably shouldn't or probably haven't so far this year, knowing that the offense will slow down a bit for Notre Dame when they face a better defense. The offense will look a little worse and the defense will look a little worse, but it's not compared to your 30-40 point blowouts that you've had the first 2 weeks. So it's natural. It comes with the territory, but I think Notre Dame gets a comfortable win against a Power 5 opponent on the road, and sets the tone that they are legit and that Sam Hartman is not just your August Heisman winner, that he is the real deal and ready to take on Ohio State sooner rather than later. So that is my official prediction for Notre Dame NC State. Let me know your thoughts. Who do you think is going to win? What are your keys to the game? Everything like that. Tune in next time as I take on Texas A&M versus Miami. Battle of two kind of perennial are they back teams. One of them is going to be back after week 2. So can't wait to see how those teams play. Can't wait to cover that game. But for right now, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching, and can't wait till the next video.